When things don't seem right, it's good to remember that there might be something we don't know that that would explain everything. Um, when we lived in Pennsylvania, there was a man that worked for my dad, Big Jake, and before Big Jake worked for my dad, he had worked at a gas station. And the early 1970s, there was the fuel crisis, and gas prices just went much higher than they had been um, when I was a teenager. Gas prices were, I think, like 27, 28 cents a gallon. I had a cousin that had a foreign car, and it had a 10-gallon gas tank, and he couldn't put $3 worth of gas in his car even if it was completely empty because it only held 10 gallons and gas was 28 cents a gallon. So, um, but then gas prices really rose, and there began to be more of an emphasis on fuel efficiency in vehicles. Well, Big Jake worked at this gas station. His boss that owned the gas station got a new car, and so they decided to play a trick on their boss. And so when he was out or he was busy in the shop, they would take his car and they'd pull it over to the gas pump and they'd put like just a gallon of gas in. And so his boss started checking his gas mileage on this car, and he's getting amazing gas mileage, 60 miles to the gallon, 70 miles to the gallon, sometimes even up close to 100 miles to the gallon. And he's just like, this car's amazing. And people are like, ah, that can't be true. No, you can't be getting that kind of gas mileage. Yes, he is. And he was convinced that he got some kind of a test vehicle, and the manufacturers could really make cars that would get much better gas mileage, but they're in cahoots with the oil companies, and so they don't do it. But he got one of the vehicles that wasn't supposed to get out on the market, but it got out on the market somehow, and he got it. And this car gets from 60 to 100 miles to the gallon. Um, and it was just great. Well, um, then one day one of his friends said, well, they just don't believe it. So his boss said, okay, I need to go to Harrisburg, which was about maybe 40 miles away. And so he said, what we'll do, we'll fill up my car, we'll drive to Harrisburg, we'll come back, we'll fill up the car again, and you can check and see what kind of gas mileage I get. So they did. Well, it wasn't nearly what he had been saying he's getting. So then his employees decided, we better quit. So they stopped putting gas in his car when he wasn't looking. And his gas mileage went down to more of a normal uh, gas mileage range in like 20 miles to the gallon or something like that. And then his boss decided, it was a test vehicle. It was something that wasn't supposed to get out on the market, but somehow it was designed that it would only do that for a certain number of months, and then it would just have regular gas mileage after that. So that's how he explained it. But there was something he didn't know, and what he didn't know was his employees were adding gas to his car. If he would have known that, it would have explained everything. And so when things don't seem quite right, it's best to just investigate a little bit and maybe wait and see what's happening, because maybe there's something that's happening that I don't know. And if I knew it, it would explain everything.